Hello world. When you guys get
Count us down.
All right.
Hello
world.
I'm Chris Pirillo.
And this is the Marketing Daily Report, or TLDR for short. Your daily dose of geek news, gadget news, and answers you should use.
And if it's not Pirillo, it's crap.
Thank you, Scotsman. This is a semi-live recording of TLDR. I am with a whole bunch of friends who are part of your community here in the UK, right? It's the UK, not UK. I'm USA, USA. So anyway, it's been great. We've been hanging out here. Some people have been recording and posting their vlogs into their channels. I'll be sure to share the links to where you can find those in this video's description. A single link, because I'm going to collect them by way of a Google Doc and what have you. But it's been a fantastic time. And even if you don't know the people around, even if you don't know the people around you, they are as much a part of this community as you are, and it's been absolutely fantastic. Such an amazing turnout. I don't know how many people in total, but it felt like 100.
50, 60.
Okay, it felt like 100. It was only 50 and 60, so they were really good personalities, which really worked. So for this live TLDR. What I'm going to do is play with someone's iPhone. We're going to do a drop test. No, just kidding. That'd be funny. No, I wouldn't do that. This is an iPhone running iOS 7. This is a developer build. Now, I have to say that so you understand, this is not a final build. And the reason why I'm putting a finer point on that is because it turns out that Johnny Ive had apparently, who's now in charge of the design of what's going on with the iPhone, gave the icons, which you saw me do in TLDR the other day, he gave the icon development task to web and print design teams. Did you guys know that? Mm-hmm. So that's the reason why they're so messed up. So they're not, allegedly, they're not finished with the design of iOS 7, so I don't want to belabor the point on that. I was very happy to hear that they aren't finished because I think that means improvement. So let's go ahead, come in here, see here for the first time, beautiful, and I can twist it, and there's definitely a light parallax going on, and I'd imagine a lot of that happens to be related to the accelerometer inside, or an inclinometer, which is a part of the gyroscope, which they've enabled now in iOS 7. It's very subtle, so it's not in your face, so it's not something that you would necessarily want to toggle at any given moment. You can see right here on the lock screen we have a few new icons, including, let me move it around so that it definitely, you can see it. Some dots, which may be showing up there. I don't know if this is really so much of a demo as much as it is just kind of an explanation of how I'm feeling. I never thought I would talk about how I feel about technology, and then I used Apple products. There's a camera icon down below, so assumedly, yes, you can swipe up. You don't see any other handlebar in there, but swiping up takes you right to the camera. You can swipe through to go between video, photo, square, and pano. This is an iPhone 5, by the way, if you can't tell by the size of the screen. The nice thing is, and I think it seems to be a bit more responsive, quick to snap a picture. Very nice. Let's go ahead and jump back out. Home screen. Clean animation. Frame rate seems solid, and of course they should be pushing about 50 frames a second. So let's see here. I don't want to, again, violate anybody's privacy. So let's go ahead and, this is not my phone, jump into weather. Very smooth. And it looks like it was inspired by the new Yahoo weather app, although it doesn't seem you can scroll down like you can in the weather app, but smooth transitions and animations, things that we've become accustomed to. Really think that animation's smooth. Really like that more than the classic iOS. I hope they fix the icons. That's all I want to say about that. So let's go ahead and double tap. We'll open the app switcher. And to close an app, you simply swipe it away, just like that, clean animation. And if you're in a, hang on, let me do this. I don't know what web page you had open last. I'm almost afraid to look. But I wanted to just open up a new app. Okay, nothing in here. No, I don't like the icons. I know I keep saying that, and I said I wouldn't say it, but I think they need to improve the icons across the OS. Smooth transition back down again. Oh, no, I know what I wanted to do. Oh, yeah. Hang on, I'm thinking of three things. I know, and I don't know how to key it in. I think maybe when I'm in an application that is, let's open the camera and switch it. And no, orientation lock. There we go. I wanted to show that you can also switch between tasks now in landscape mode as well, as opposed to just portrait mode. Okay. So that's kind of nice. So let's go ahead and swipe away the camera. So here's something that I just noticed. Frame rate seems to be dropping when I exit out of the task switching app. Do you see that? I don't know if the camera's going to be able to pick that up, but okay, smooth going into it, swipe away, although I'm still in the, even though I'm in a portrait orientation, it's, the landscape mode is still enabled for the task switching. But I'm definitely seeing drop frames coming out of that task switcher. That needs to be cleaned up. Apple, get on it, because I want a smooth experience. You know me and butteriness. Oh, nice. Swipe down the. Somehow it's still locked, even though you saw me holding it in the portrait orientation. It's still locked somehow in a landscape mode. But here's the notification center. Ring, and very nice too. Look at that big fat date. Love it. Although I wonder why they still can't squeeze the date into the title bar with this version. But nice. It's got the weather. You know, you can read the weather. People still read. Okay. Go ahead and swipe that away again. Try to get it. Boy, everything. Look at that. I think it's a bug because we have everything locked in. You can see the title bars over on the side. So let's see if we can. Let's go ahead and lock the phone. Nice fading animation. Try to. Oh, I guess we have to slide that way. Icons come in nicely. Back into portrait mode again. It is going to be buggy. You swipe down from the middle of the screen to pull down your search mode, which is kind of nice. I don't know if I really want to do this because again, this is not my phone. There's the keyboard. Oh wait. Yeah, okay, I want to see if I can do swipe gestures. Boy, I wish. That's one thing, I got to give it to Swipe and even Google. I like the swipe gestures going back and forth, so I'm just going with the letter O. Menus are now black. The keyboard down here in context is black. We have a list of the top hits. The top, Justin Bieber. No, he's not. The top hit. You know, anyway, so applications. See, my jokes don't always work. Contacts, kind of nice. Music, a lot of music here, and it scrolls down. Smooth frame rate scrolling through. It's quite fine. Let's go ahead and exit out of that. Some frame droppage, again, exiting out of this search application and back into the home screen. So they've got something, I think it's going on with bringing up the home screen again from certain applications. Swiping seems fine. Opening up utilities. A lot of the same utilities that I have. It seems like, I don't know why they went this direction. With the folder, they have multiple folders, or I guess nested lists within folders. What's interesting here is that they're not making full use of space. And I don't mean that just because of space background, but you've got a big fat utilities at the top, a lot of wasted space at the bottom, and then the icons in the middle. And I appreciate that because I use folders. Looks like there's some blue dots next to some apps, possibly ones that have been updated recently, much like they use the new tag. That's a guess because I don't have the information on that. But I'm curious to know why they don't have anything down here. There has to be a reason. I just don't know. The folders, of course, have changed as well. You've got a whiter background rather than a darker background. I do wonder why they went that way. It looks a bit garish. Why wouldn't the folders be just a bit darker but more transparent, much like the rest of the OS might be, including the dock? I'm trying to see. Oh wow. You know, here's the thing. It's very subtle, and it's going to be impossible to pick up on the camera. But the effect, the parallax effect when you move the phone back and forth, it's extremely subtle, but it's noticeable. Very small moves with the background in the background, obviously the image in the background. But I'm not sure that many people would necessarily notice that. But it is a nice effect to have. And it doesn't dog the system like I've seen other applications specifically on other platforms do. What else should I be looking at?
Control center.
Control center? What's that?
You can see your
Swipe up.
gyroscopes on the phone.
Oh, fantastic. Look at that. This is a different lock screen. And I know people say this is awfully reminiscent of Android, but it's not. Yeah, as you move the phone around, the dots, I realize it's going to be difficult to translate, but the dots will also move up and down, kind of like you're holding onto one of those shaky things. That's what we call them in America, by the way. We call them shaky things. Thank you for the phone. What should I, the notification center. Swipe up, no, not notification center, control center.
Control center.
Swipe up from the bottom. You now have a flashlight, which has now killed all flashlight apps, which is great. AirDrop enabled right there. So if we were all connected on the same network and friends, well, friends would make it easier. We're not friends, though. I mean, we know each other. I didn't want to give anybody promises that we'd become friends. Although we are. Sorry. I'm like really and it's really hot in this basement, too. So that's why I'm breaking a sweat. We also have quick access. I better turn off the flashlight. To your alarms, calculator. Right now, it doesn't seem... Oh, very nice. I like very nice animations going back and forth. You can swipe up from the bottom in any app. You can jump right into the camera. Love that. That's really nice. And for the people wondered why this isn't at the top. And I say, well, it's all about context, right? So when I need a notification, when I'm looking for information to swipe down. But that's why the notification center is up there. It's all about notifications, being informed of all your push notifications, calendar stuff, all missed, today. But the bottom is all about functions and features. So separating the two is a mental connection. So that, to me, made perfect sense, and I think Apple implemented it as well as they could. So now you can toggle airplane mode, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, do not disturb, and orientation lock. You also have the ability to quickly adjust the sliders. Not exactly sure why they're I like the translucency or the transparency of the background, specifically above the or below the icons and above the foreground. Or I'm sorry, the background. I can see through, but not all the way through, so it's translucent. But I don't know if I like the horizontal dividers. I think they could be made a bit more subtle and still provide separations. That's just a gut thing, is what I feel. Clean animations for the most part, although, like I said, some other stutters. What else should I be looking at? Oh, de-articulator. Someone watches my videos. Anything else?
Come on.
Nothing? Ish?
Nothing there?
No, I'm good. I don't necessarily want to show
Siri.
anything else. Siri, yeah, good call.
Oh, there's no service in it.
Oh, there's no service. It's asking me to connect to the internet. Great. I really like the I think it's a translucency, not just transparency, but a translucency effect where you can see what's underneath it. It does add a different layer to it. It's definitely a cleaner experience as far as a UI goes. Definitely needs a bit more refinement in places, but I think they'll get there. I think Apple can get there. I have confidence they can. I don't know if I would necessarily use iOS 7 as my primary device, on my primary device today, but if only because it's kind of still buggy, and I want my communications device to work when I need it to work. And it's fun to play with, but I don't know if I would necessarily swap out right now. Anything else?
Settings, stuff.
Settings? Sorry, I was just looking. Yeah, so now when you go to close icons or delete icons, instead of the red, you get a white with a black X inside, a little cleaner. Settings would be there, a big gear. Cleaner. They've updated the toggles between airplane mode, or not just airplane mode, but I'm just toggling airplane mode here. Even if you're not able to perceive it directly on camera, it's okay. It's cleaner. Definitely a bit more cohesive. But it's pretty much the same settings app, it's just got a different UI, and which is fine, it's just a visual refresh. Anybody who was expecting dramatic changes between iOS 6 and 7 doesn't understand that Apple had to bring their existing users along, that's the bulk of their base. They had to make it familiar enough and yet add to it, and I think that as far as that's concerned, I think iOS 7 has succeeded in it. They just need to kind of put a finer point on the design elements and clean up some of those animations, and we'll be good to go. I don't know if we necessarily want to cover anything else, but this was fun to do. So, thank you for watching, and if everybody wants to do it together, we'll do the sign-off.
Yeah.
Y'all got it?
Game Center's changed as well.
Game Center's changed? Do we really want to show the bubbles? I was kind of avoiding that on purpose.
I've seen it described as a Chuck E. Cheese ball pit.
Yeah, it's about right. So, boom. Boom mic there. So, okay, well, we'll go ahead and close the video at this point, and we'll do it at the same time. I'll do a countdown. We're just playing. We're producing this as we go along, much like I do on YouTube.